Hey y'all! Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I've been doing a lot of reflecting and a lot of stuff's been happening that's been making me think of some different things. And so this is really a space where I want us all to grow and learn from each other. So I wanted y'all to share with I wanted to share with y'all some of the things that I have been thinking about and kind of reflecting on. So I can remember when I was younger watching Akilah and the Bee, where Keke Palmer, she was the main character in it, and she was a jump roper, and her coach was, I am blanking on his name right now, but it was him. And he was like, at some point in the movie, read this poem to her called Our Deepest Fear. The one that's like, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. It is that we are powerful beyond measure. And I pulled up this poem to read it because I feel like there are things, really awesome things that this poem addresses, and then there's some other things that it doesn't so much address. And so some people might read it like me and be like, I don't all the way understand this. And it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. So I was kind of like, okay, cool. I guess I could kind of understand that. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? So I'll finish. It says, your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are born to manifest the glory that is within us. It is not within some of us, it is in everyone. And when we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So I think this is a beautiful poem. And I think that it does address kind of the fear of standing out and being yourself, and how a lot of people are afraid to do that. They're afraid to wear their natural hair and stand out, or they're afraid to be their full selves, whether it's like this really bubbly person or, whatever. Maybe they think they're a weird person, so they're afraid to do that. I think it addresses those kinds of things, those different beautiful things that are different about each of us that we maybe sometimes place judgments on. What I realize, though, is that it doesn't address the fear of accountability that comes along with greatness and the responsibility that comes along with greatness. So I have noticed just like little tendencies in myself that kind of, I would almost say it's like self-sabotaging, like things that I'll do and I was just like, girl, why are you do that? Or like, why aren't you consistent in this? Or why don't you wake up early every morning? Or why don't you go to sleep early each night? Or why do you, whatever, why aren't your habits more powerful? And these are things that obviously I'm a lot greater at than I was years ago. I'm still working though. I'm still working. And so I realized recently that there is a fear of accountability and responsibility that comes with the greatness, the realization of your greatness. And so for me, that shows up in a lot of different ways, and I'm sure for other people it shows up in different ways. It can show up in ways like, like I just said, it can show up in not eating healthy, or it can show up in not exercising. And sometimes it's just because we're afraid of the attention that we'll get. Because then, like, if there's attention on us and if eyes are on us, like if my hair is popping, or if, my body is banging, or if I do have all kinds of people watching my content, or if I do, make it as a big basketball player or football player or tennis player, whatever it is. Like, if I am a standout lawyer, if I am this politician, what then? Like, we see these people every day who are great and who have accomplished great things, and they're these role models to people, and it's like they're always in the spotlight. Always. And people are always watching them. And that could be to a smaller degree, right? That could be you're a principal at a school. And so, like, you as a principal are in a different spotlight than you were when you were a teacher. Or you as a manager are in a different spotlight than you know, who was just like a general, you know, specialist or something in your position. And so sometimes the fear is not that we are inadequate. Sometimes the fear is that we are definitely, we understand that we're powerful. That's cool. And the deeper fear behind that is, well, what happens if I really decide to step into that and embrace that? What happens if I let more people down? Or what happens if, you know, all these little girls, you know, I go natural and all these little girls are now looking up to me because I have hair like them, but I don't like my natural hair, or I want to relax it again, or I just wear like wigs all the time, and, you know, is that okay? Is that not okay? And so there's this whole thing, I think, around responsibility and accountability that's not always addressed in reference to us really achieving our greatness. And so I've just been noticing that for me, that is what a lot of my fear of greatness is surrounding. It's around, okay, if I do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I do have people who are watching my content, or I do have women who are like asking me for hair tips, like that means that I have to be on more often. That means that, I don't know if y'all have been watching that Jordan documentary. It's really good. But he talked about how he never wanted to be a role model. And there's so many people, Rihanna, all kinds of people are like, I don't want to be a role model. And it's like, well, you are. So get with it. And it's just interesting. And I'd be interested to know, like, if there's any areas in your life where you've maybe avoided the spotlight, or avoided a promotion, or avoided embracing your full self, avoided following your dreams, something of that nature, like self-sabotage. Maybe you didn't think about it as self-sabotage, but it was kind of self-sabotage because you were afraid on some level, even subconsciously, of what comes along with your greatness. And whether or not you would, you know, be willing to maintain that. Like, if I decide that I'm going to be vegan, and then I tell people that I'm vegan, and then they see me over there tearing up a chicken wing, then they're going to be looking at me like I'm crazy. And the reality is that could happen. And that's okay. Because you know what? The very next day, you could continue on your vegan journey. You're human. You just keep working towards it and keep working towards it. For me, I'm working towards these daily videos. I would like to make daily videos a habit. Haven't figured out exactly what that's going to look like. It might be pre-recorded videos. Who knows? And there's a part of me that's like, sheesh, I am still figuring this out. And everyone's going to be watching my process as I'm figuring this out. And so y'all just gonna be here with me as I'm figuring it out. And it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be a beautiful process. And y'all gonna be able to say y'all were here with me shooting in the gym. I'm gonna be able to say I was here with you shooting in the gym. I don't know. I'm really just rambling at this point. This is really just my thoughts today. This is just my thoughts. So, yeah, if you've noticed that you feel like you are like stagnant or stuck, take a look, like think about what you want most in the world and what you associate along with that may be like disempowering. So, if I chase those singing goals and I accomplish that, then I'm never gonna have privacy, and like that's just no bueno. You know, like what disempowering things have you associated with your dream, and how can you shift that narrative and turn it, just all of it, into something that you really, really love? That's what I was talking to my mentor about. He was like, yeah, it's a lot of accountability. It's a lot of responsibility, and you gotta learn to love it. You gotta learn to love it, and you're gonna get some feedback, and you love yourself through it. So that applies to your hair, that applies to the way that you eat, that applies to the way that you exercise and you move your body. You can notice things that you want to be more powerful in, and you can love yourself through it. And, you know, give yourself space to grow in your process, regardless of who may be watching or who may be judging. A lot of people are really just loving you through it as well. So embrace them. Anyways, I'm done. I would love to hear y'all's comments, if you made it this far, on things that you really want to accomplish, and, you know, what is it that you are overcoming in order to get there. So it could have to do with hair, it could have to do with eating, it could have to do with something in your job, it could have to do with anything. I would just love to hear something that you are working to overcome, working to make a habit, you know, working to just be more powerful in, and what that's been looking like for you. And we can all work together to get to where we're wanting to go. That's why this is called Natural Girls Rule the World. This is not just about hair, even though, you know, like, obviously hair is a thing. This is about us as fully expressed women beings. Okay, I'm going to go to sleep. It has been a day. But yes, I really do hope to hear from some of y'all. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.